think. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and thank you from wherever you are, whether you're listening to this live or you will be hearing this broadcast later on. We want to welcome you and thank you for being present. Everyone that's here live, I definitely want to thank you. And special shout out to Spencer. He's coming in from his hospital bed and continued improvement and success, along with Darlene and Pastor Chris Johnson, all of whom are improving. We're in for an exciting morning of enlightenment through Miss Kim Law and everyone that's on this broadcast. So what I'd like to do is, first of all, share my screen, and then I need to put it into, make sure that the sound is shared. And one other thing is that
It looks great, Coach.
no, I do not have it on the PowerPoint. How do I do PowerPoint again?
Your PowerPoint showing, sir.
Yeah, it's a mechanism that you push that it shows the entire slide. Okay, I will work with what I've got. Okay, as I said, good morning, Prosperity University. This month we are spending time on Getting Rich by Wallace Walls. You can buy the book or listen to it on YouTube. And this is where the foundation of Think and Grow Rich came from. And with a community like what we're building, I've often said you can go anywhere and sell anything, but what you cannot duplicate is you cannot duplicate a community like this, led by Michael Avery and his wife, led by Elaine, led by a Spencer, led by a Shawn. I mean, you are the ones that create a community like this. What you will hear from Ms. Kim Law spent hours. And so I need somebody to come in and be so Shawn, I'm going to make you co-host so you can mute out.
What's up, Coach? I'm gonna be listening the whole time, but I'm also gonna be moving.
Okay,
So I'm not really in a position to be responsible for that, Coach.
no problem. Michael, can I make you co-host? Or Mary? Mary, can I make you co-host?
Yeah, Coach.
Okay, fine. So I'm going to make you co-host so you can start muting out the lines for me.
Hold
Thank you. And so getting back to what I was talking about is the amount of hours it took to put this presentation together. We have an invaluable team of great encouragers. And so along with that, on Thursday night, we had an unbelievable presentation on our tranquility, the benefits of the tranquility, what it will do for you, what it does for me on a continual basis. And later on, Ms. Kim Law is going to be talking about a special that you can take advantage of right now, which is basically a giveaway because all you got to do is you're going to be rewarded for what we would normally do anyway, which is get our loyalty order in by the 7th. But this product is absolutely fantastic. And what all these products do is amazing. Our weekly schedule, a proven financial business system, is Monday through Friday. We start at 8:30 to 9:30, and it's a call in. Absolutely incredible. We have had guests that have come on and transitioned from guests to be brand ambassadors. Tuesday night, we have a fantastic 27 to 30-minute overview. When I started in this industry, there used to be an hour and a half just traveling to the location. Today, you can get somebody on and get them exposed and signed up within 30 minutes. Unbelievable access, difference in how you build and what can be done through communication, through social media. Thursday nights is absolutely jam-packed full of training and utilization of what is taking place. And Saturday, oh my word. This day, you're going to be given absolute strategies that you can implement into your family's legacy. It's that important. And the information that has been accumulated and disseminated is unbelievable. And with that, what I'd like to do is turn this session over to the competent hands of Miss Kim Law. Kim, as you know, is happily married to Bob Law, and they have children and grandchildren. Kim is a philanthropist, renowned public speaker, which will be exemplified today. And I can go on and on and on, but Kim just got to California, which she might share with you what's happening. So without any further to do, our great friend, Miss Kim Law. Kim, just tell me what to do and when to do it. And
All right. Well, I appreciate you so much, Coach. If you go to the next slide, I'm gonna introduce you to this special that Brad and oh my gosh, Marvin was sorry, my brain today, waking up, waiting for the vitality kick in, talked about on their special with the tranquility. Basically, just for doing what you normally do, which is getting your order in for your loyalty before the 7th of the month, everybody who gets their loyalty order in before the 7th of the month gets a bottle of tranquility. It doesn't matter what you get, just having your loyalty order in before the 7th, you get a bottle of tranquility. This is massive. Keep going, Coach. Now, we're going to talk about the 3 P's to happiness, health and prosperity. Next. We're going to be eliminating the 3 P's, and here they are. We've got the problem, pervasiveness, and being personal. We're going to start with problem. Keep going, sir. Number 1, we have problem. Now, problem, you think about a problem as being permanent, right? Well, no. The problem is not permanent. Only your soul is permanent. So when we go to pervasive, existing and spreading through every single part of your being is what pervasive means. But imagine if you're having a relationship and you're having problems, and what happens is you're like, oh my gosh, this isn't working out. My whole life is falling apart because of one incident. That's what pervasiveness means. Now imagine if you're having a great day and everything shifts because you're like, miracles happen to me. They come to me constantly on a spontaneous way, in a spontaneous way. That's what they're talking about. when we're talking about personal, well, now here we have, go ahead, Coach. You're thinking about the issue of something being on a personal level. Well, guess what? If you think that, well, it happened because of me, well, then you're making that self-fulfilling statement. However, if you think that there's a problem and making it pervasive, then you're taking it to a whole nother level and honing it in yourself. It's going to stifle you to the point where you're not going to have movement in your goals. The 3 P's to success now are, we've got to project, persevere, and to be purposeful. Now let's talk about projecting. First, when we project, we need to know, where are you going? What's your direction? What's your goal? We have to have a goal. Well, our goal should be to be a master black diamond. What do we have to do that? Well, how are we going to get there? There's got to be a roadmap, right? Well, we do that by training 3 people to be brand ambassadors and teaching them to do the same thing. And then we wave 3 qualified by doing that. That brings us into being a master black diamond. Now, how do we persevere? We persevere through stickability, and failure is not an option attitude. If we have success as the only outcome, well, then guess what? That's persevering. We have to be able to project. Why is everyone okay? So if you're projecting your why to every single one in every place, everywhere you go, then guess what happens? More that you focus on your why, the faster you're going to get there. So by having that conversation of what you speak about most comes to you, right? There's a really good scripture that says, what I speak, so shall it be. Well, we're going to talk about the 3 keys to a breakthrough: strategy, story, and a state of being. First, we're going to talk about strategy. Our strategy, I want you to, if you don't have your phones, please take your phones and get ready to take some pictures, because this is going to be crazy packed with information that we're coming up. So feel free to take snapshots. Strategy is a new strategy can absolutely change everything in your life. So it's something that's done in a specific way that if you do it every single time, you're going to have the exact same results, right? Well, if you're doing it the right way at the right time in the right place, just say that you're making my mother's chocolate yum yum cake, right? And you have that recipe and you follow it, well, you're going to get exactly the same result every single time. The same thing goes for our business. Now, what's our story? Our story is, what are you telling yourself? When people say they've tried everything, they would have had the answer if they had. The reality is they haven't tried everything. People's stories are often true, but not necessarily effective. Why? Because the story that they're telling themselves, if they say, well, I don't have the resources, then they're going to be stifling themselves. Maybe their story is saying, I can't get any resources that I need. And then but if you say, I can get any resource I need, and you're adding value to the people, then you're going to absolutely get what you want. And your story is everything, because what you're telling yourself, you're not putting limits on yourself anymore when you're telling the right story. State of being. Could somebody mute, please?
Mary.
I can't mute her, Coach. Laverne, you need to mute, please.
I muted. Thank you.
Okay. Number 3, a state of being. Now, when we talk about a state of being, that has to do with the focus on where we are, what we're doing, right? So what are we focusing on? It should be success. It determines the trajectory of our future. A state of being is a story that you're telling yourself about your partner, your relationship, your business. Having a great state of being, great stories, and great strategies, you're maximizing the momentum to your success. Ignorance is not bliss, it's poverty and pain. Knowledge is power. If you want to change your story, first thing that you have to do is change your state of being. Now, it doesn't matter what happens to you in life. You're more than one moment in time. What matters is what you choose to do with what happens in your life. Coach, pause on this for a minute. Because what I want to share with you, I was at the airport yesterday flying here to California and had some interesting things happen. Well, there's delays occasionally. Well, this was one of those days that people were griping and complaining and yada, yada. And these two little ladies were standing around me and they were griping and complaining. I said, "Oh no, I'm so happy. They did their job. They actually did their pre-flight check and saw damage on the plane. They're keeping us safe." So, people kept griping and complaining, and we started having more of a conversation. So every time they'd say a negative, I'd throw out a positive, and I would get louder and louder and more excited about the great job that everybody at the airport was doing in keeping us safe. Because guess what happens? If we're not projecting what we want, then what we don't want is going to come to us. Now, let's go to the next slide because we're going to be talking about seasons. We need to be a student of seasons. The events in our life that control our lives, they control our decisions, right? No, we control our decisions in life. That's what matters. Progress equals growth. You can take yourself out of an absolute total tragedy and bring it to triumph. That's what controls our state of being. This is completely how life shifts into a magnificent way. While I was at the airport yesterday, these people were griping and complaining. I was like, oh, they need to mellow out. So I started handing out ambrosia, right? And then the lady was complaining about her knee hurting. I said, honey, here, I'm showing them the videos off my phone on the products. And she goes, oh, I could use one of those right now. And so I gave her 2 relief. I mean, right then and there. And I said, it's like, Flintstone's chewable vitamin. Go ahead and take it. Okay, pause for a minute, coach. And she says, okay. And so before the video was over, she had taken the relief. And before it was over, she goes, this can't be true. She says, my knee's feeling better. I said, no, it works. She goes, no, it can't be working that fast. I said, yes, ma'am. It is designed to work as fast as an opioid without the side effects. She goes, you're kidding me. I said, no. By the time we finished the video, the woman took the brace off of her knee. You know how short these videos are. So human emotion controls our trajectory. Changing the emotional patterns shapes our finances, our relationships, and our career. The worst thing that can happen in our life is to not control the force that controls our life. What is that force? It's our emotions. What emotions are shaping your future, right? Is it frustration, sadness, sorry for the typo, joy, excitement, being elated, passion? Is being present in the moment with your relationships? Our steps to building new emotional patterns. We're going to start with identifying where you live emotionally. Are you happy? Are you joyous? Are you grateful? Are you visualizing your future? We're going to give you an antidote if you're not. Courage is an emotional experience that is not comfortable. However, it creates miracles. So be courageous to go through things that are uncomfortable. People have patterns. You have to identify your own patterns because guess what? Compassion is not convenient. It's always necessary. So pause for a moment, coach. I'm going to talk about compassion for a second. You see a car broke down. Is it not convenient to stop, right? But you drive on by. Is it not convenient? Yesterday, I was making this PowerPoint in the airport, and it really wasn't convenient for me to start having conversations with people. But I was like, you know what? It's all in divine order. It'll work out. I'll be able to figure out how to do this on the plane. Well, little did I know we were going to have a 6-hour delay. I could have had the whole thing done and not stayed up until 4:30 this morning working on it. But because I was compassionate about the needs of the people that I was around, those events triggered me going back into a place of comfort, which is talking about Anjali. What's your trigger for your comfort zone? Is it guilt? Is it anger? Is it joy? Is it gratitude? Mine is gratitude. Keep going, coach. Purge replaces fear. Love and support replaces anger and stress. What are our antidotes? What I want to do is I'm going to teach you how to practice antidotes with your emotions. Keep going. Nope, go back, sir. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to have you get a piece of paper. And on that piece of paper, on one side, we're going to talk about things that support you emotionally, and we're going to talk about things that are disempowering. But practicing the emotion over and over and over that is empowering creates a visceral reaction that's not fake or forced. Like when I was in the airport and everybody was talking negative, I just didn't want to succumb to that. So every time they would talk negative, I'd talk positive. Oh, I'm so happy and grateful. And then somebody else would talk negative. And I don't care if they were 7 people away. I'd say, isn't it awesome they're keeping us safe? These people are magnificent. We could have been on an airline that didn't care, and they would have put us in the air, and our outcome could have been very different. God bless these people. And people's attitudes started shifting. When you've experienced these kind of visceral things, emotions again and again, it starts to be a part of an attribute in who you are. Next, coach. Empowering versus disempowering. On one side of the paper, I want you to write down the emotions that are expressed that you do at least once a week that are powerful: love, peace, joy, harmony, passion, excitement, being human, compatibility, relationships. On the other side, I want you to write down the emotions that are disempowering, that drain you. They're frustrating, distrust, anxious, overwhelming, loss, alone, depressed. Keep going. And then I want you to circle the 2 experiences on both of those lists that happen the most. Keep going, coach. The second thing we're going to do with that is by circling those, you're identifying what solution you need to have to change that emotion into prosperity and abundance. And you do that through 3-way calls to help your team, sharing your testimony of the products, blessing others with samples like I did at the airport. The woman went straight to my website, got so excited and said, how do I get this? And I literally drove her to the site. She ordered it. And while we were there, folks, it works. You have to have conversations around your passion. What is your passion? Mine is health, wellness, happiness. Keep going, coach. Step 3, practice, practice, practice. You have to practice empowering emotions. It's not mind over matter. It's mind over emotion that creates the shift. Emotion is created by motion. How you move in your body. Now pause here for a moment, coach. I want you to think about something. What are your facial expressions? When I was saying the words stress, anxiety, oh, I can't pay my bills, my car's broke down, The airport, oh my gosh, we're delayed again every 15 minutes. Oh, it's going to be 20 minutes more. Oh, it's going to be 30 minutes. Well, no, it's an hour out now. Good gosh, these people, right? Or are your facial expressions excited in your voice? What is your voice tone? Keep going, coach. Figure out your emotions. Where do you live most of the time? Is it negative, or is it in the opposite state of an empowering emotion? Shifting. We're going to talk about how to shift. When you're feeling determined, passionate, your body language will show it. Absolutely. You'll have energy. You're going to have the ability to, with your face, your eyes light up. You look, you're like you're thinking up when you're excited about something. Your voice inflection goes up at the end of a sentence. It doesn't go down, it goes up. Your body language, you have a pep in your step. You lean forward when you're listening to people. When you're having a conversation, you're leaning into the conversation. I'm talking to you right now, and I'm finding myself leaning into this conversation. Condition yourself. This is something I want you guys to do over the next 7 days. Practice shifting. Do this deliberately 3 to 4 times a day for 7 days. What you're going to do is you are going to focus on those things when you notice that you're going into a space that is not empowering but disempowering. You're going to find the powerful things that's easy for you to tap to that are empowering for you, and you're going to start creating new patterns in your body language by doing that. And guess what? People will notice. They're going to want to know what is going on. Now, what's that new pattern? This new pattern means a new life for you. It's a life that is reflection of your emotional patterns and how you're feeling, what you're expressing. Living in a state of gratitude and passion, these two emotions will help you overcome absolutely anything. When I was at the airport, I was so grateful that they were making us safe. I had a passion about making sure every single person knew it. People were looking at me like, who is this crazy woman? But you know what? I was a happy Karen. I was a happy Kim, right? I wasn't a Karen. I was a happy Kim. People are like, who's that crazy one? I'm Kim. Be a Kim, not a Karen. The best way to keep something in your body is to share it with somebody else. If you want to experience this, you have to do it not just for yourself, but for other people. But you got to practice. Do this, the mirror technique. Go back a minute, Coach. Because your life is going to be meaningful only if it's not about me, but it's about we. Keep going. Developing successful triggers. Now, I got this from the gentleman who was sitting in the airplane next to me. What are the triggers we need to do? In order to get successful triggers, we have to be on the 8:30 morning call. And for those of us in California, God bless you all. That is 5:30 in the morning, y'all getting up. Y'all are dedicated. All right. That's a meditation and sharing. Read and listen to successful books. Write your daily gratitude journal every single day. Write in your gratitude journal. Do 3-way calls. Have conversations about your business. Share ambrosia. Start having conversations, because guess what? You have 30 conversations in every bag of ambrosia. 30 conversations. These are triggers, folks. You have to change your route so that it passes the places that, okay, I'm trying to read, but I know what it's saying. So when you're changing your route, instead of something that triggers you to something negative, pass the places that trigger you to successful thoughts. Read the books. Do the morning calls, have the conversations, share the ambrosia. And guess what? When you get your loyalty order before the 7th of the month, next, you're going to have a free tranquility. Isn't that amazing? Free. That is a $50 savings the company is gifting you just for doing what we're supposed to do. This is Pavlov's theory. Ring the bell and salivate. Well, we're salivating over tranquility. Isn't this awesome? Next, coach. Loyalty orders before the 7th are going to earn you a 20% bonus bounce back. It's going to give you bigger savings, and you're going to have more rewards, right? And that, go back. You see this, folks? Coach didn't know what that was. No, keep going my little picture, coach. You see this, folks? If you haven't figured that out, that is a happy face. It looks like it's having a seizure, I know, but this is a smiley face that I make. And that smiley face, I made that at 4:30 this morning on an airplane sitting on a tarmac when we landed in California after the long flight and the 6-hour delay before we got there. As soon as we landed, they said, "You're not going to believe this, but they had an accident at the gate. And we're going to be stuck here till they give us a gate that we can park at." And everybody on the plane started hysterically laughing. And I thought, joy in the moment. Let us all have joy in the moment. And next slide, sir. Congratulations, folks.
Next slide is me.
Oh, there you go, sir. Thank you, coach.
Next slide is me. I want to really, really congratulate you from the bottom of my heart and this whole community that's here, that will be here, that will be impacted by these products. Know and congratulate our great encouragers, both Bob and Kim. On behalf of the entire Angelique community, we want to thank you, Miss Kim, and your husband on your historical anniversary. Nobody has, excuse me, we got to cut this out of the recording, but nobody has been able to stay with me for 30 years. No, but on the serious side, you guys are a beacon of hope. And together, I know everyone on this line are wishing you many more years together. Healthy years, successful years. And we're just impressed and moved by our great encouragers. Now, I pointed out that this morning would be very impactful. And this whole presentation was done while she was traveling. You can go sell pencils and make money. What cannot be duplicated is the presence of this community, each and every one of you, from Dr. Beasley to my Marys, to everyone here. And that's what we have. And with us staying together and moving together, this is so very impactful. We have got the right products. We've got the right marketing program. What we choose to do is a different situation. And so when you look at home-based business, and I look at it from an industry point of view, in that the number of women earning $100,000 or more a year, this industry offers that opportunity. I honor the fact that we have Miss Laverne that's got 2, 3, 4 people with her, and the ability to communicate to your team that will determine your success. Regardless of what company you're working, there are certain, yesterday I worked with Miss Elaine. God bless her. She's in church today, but she's tuning in. And I asked her, please say a prayer for Chief Sinner. And I wasn't talking about Michael Avery. Okay, Dr. Beasley. Oh, Dr. Beasley, look at this. Look at this. That says money. That says prosperity. And that's what we're about. But Mark, hear me. Listen to me. What I'm talking about here is that this environment, this business community, okay, generally a man makes or earns more than a woman. Here, in this home-based business environment, a woman can out-earn a man.
And I do.
Okay. You look so young. You look so good. God bless you.
Oh,
Staying
I
on.
have to tell you, the reason I didn't show my camera is because I've literally not only done the PowerPoint from my phone, but in order to see the slides, I had to be like this. It was so small. I could rip, when you're doing something. Anyways, I have to tell you, one of the things, Coach is talking about this team that we have here. It's not a team. This is a relationship building organization. We are empowered by the circle of influence. The 5 people we spend the most time with, that's where our circle of influence is going to be. Who are you spending the most time with? What conversations are we having with people? Because I can tell you, if anybody else asked me to do what I just did yesterday, the answer would have been, I'm so sorry, you're going to have to figure it out. But instead, because I love, adore, and am so excited about everything that Coach does, if you're going to be a copycat, you got to copy the right cat. Well, my thing is, I'm copying Coach. And I know that man gets up at insanely early hours. And for those of you here on the Pacific Coast, God bless y'all. I have a newfound love and admiration for you because I am not that early of a morning person to have conversations. I may be up, but I'm not having conversations with people. That's my meditative state. That's how I get going. But what we have here is an opportunity for us to not only empower ourselves to do things better in a more exciting way that creates our goals, our aspirations, but it creates a way for us to build relationships with other people so that they can have the success. The more successful we help other people to be, it helps us to reach our goals. When I mentioned about being a black diamond with the company, the only way that can happen is when you're helping and growing other people's prosperity, wise, their successes. When we help enough people get what they want, we will automatically be pushed to where we want to be. I love you guys. I'm so excited. I'm here in California. They're doing a showing at the Reels Ability Film Festival. If anybody's out in California, our showing for Being Michelle is at 2:00 today. If you go to beingmichelle.com, it'll show you the location and all that kind of good jazz. The venue here has about 4,000 people. It's exciting. I get to be on the Q&A panel after the film, and I feel privileged to be able to have this experience. Folks, when they started filming, I was blind, completely blind. Guide dog, white cane, red tip. I didn't take these products for my eyesight. I owned a health food store for 13 years. I can assure you, I tried everything under the sun to restore my sight. But it wasn't until I started taking these products for the 8 herniated discs in my neck and back, and the 3 ruptured, which are now 2, because the last time they did a check, they said, oh, no, you only have 2. I'm like, Well, my body's healing itself. No wonder it's working out. This is magnificent, right? As I'm taking the relief from pain, it took the scar tissue off my eyes. Folks, everything the medical facilities had tried, there was nothing. They couldn't even do surgery because my eyes were permanently dilated open. The pressure in my eyes went up so high and fast that it fractured the lens of the eye. And when it came back down, the iris got stuck in the cracks of the lens of the eye. So my eye ended up being, both of them, permanently dilated open for 16 years. If you've ever had your eyes dilated, it makes your eyes tear and water. It's painful. I always wore dark wrap glasses for 16 years. And then when I got the products, I didn't take it for my eyes. I took it for something else. But what's so magnificent about this product line is these are Nutraveda. What that means is it's nutrition in a capsule, it's food in a capsule, right? Ayurvedics, it's food in a capsule, but it gives your body what it needs to fix itself. Well, it fixed itself. And now I can see and drive. I've had a driver's license again. Thank you, Jesus, for the last 2 years. Woo! And I'm so happy and grateful. I've driven all the way to California and back. I'm going back out to Utah in about a month again. And of course, I drive because my husband chauffeured me for 16 years. So it's my turn to chauffeur him. And I do. Folks, we're so excited that you took the time to be here today. I'm so happy and grateful you guys gave me the opportunity to share some of the really cool things that I've really been, everything that I'm sharing is things that I'm honing in for myself. We need to read the books, listen to the tapes, do the things that are empowering and uplifting, because when we do, it brings us to a whole nother level of happiness, joy, success. Make it an amazing day, as Trevor says. I hope you got a few nuggets, some boulders maybe on the side. And Coach, back to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. One of the major takeaways I got from this morning, and I'm quite sure that you have gotten your own takeaways or should have, is by her going out and intentionally meeting different people. And we all meet people every single day. She talked about the top 5 people you hang around with. Well, in 1970, I decided to change my top 5 people because my top 5 people were all in my neighborhood. They were broke, disgusted, and gangsters. 4 out of the 5 of them have died. So I'm glad I decided to change. But here's the real point I want to add. In the people that you meet every single day, ask, and I ask this question now, how can I add value to your life? My major takeaway from every single thing that has been discussed today, with all the hours that Kim has put in, but it wasn't just the 6 hours. It was all the years that Bob has worked with her, all the seminars she has attended, all the books she has read. My takeaway is, as last week when she spoke, I am so happy and grateful that I am debt free. And that's the way I like it. And so I married that to me. Dr. Beasley, you are drinking out of the right bottle. But the major takeaway from this morning is, as I meet people today, as I meet people tomorrow, and as we come to the 45-minute close, is how can I add value to your life today? And when we do this, Shawn, you will not have a challenge. All the Marys in my life, and there have been
I
a
believe
lot.
you, coach.
There have been a lot. Thank you, sir. Mark, when I can show somebody or ask them, how can I be of value in your life? That's the essence. That's the secret to what has kept me going year after year after year, adding value to other people's lives. And Spencer, you want to close this out? You want to share anything? If your doctors are with you, don't worry. Okay, you're unplugged. This is
Yes, I'm
a young
done.
man.
Yeah, my aide was dealing with me when y'all was talking. Great and powerful presentation there, Miss Kim. Got a lot out of that. Um, if you all have noticed that in the news, I've been seeing a lot of articles about bottled water. And they're starting to find out that bottled water has a lot more dangers hidden in it than in tap water. And so the key is to let people know that, hey, bottled water costs you about 2,000 times more than tap water. And now starting to show that much more dangerous than tap water. So now what I'm doing is I'm educating people on the dangers of water because everybody drinks water. No matter what's going on, they have to drink water. Whether they make some Kool-Aid or some lemonade or whatever they're making, they're doing it with their tainted water. So our goal is to show people how we can purify and clean that water so that they can have the best water possible. So now what I'm doing is I'm putting a strategy together to promote the water to those who do a lot of bushcrafting, camping on YouTube. Reach out to them and say, hey, this is what you want. No more boiling water, which only disinfects your water. It doesn't purify it. So if we can show people how they can do that with their water without having to do all the other extra steps, it's a game changer. It's a winner. And it's helped me heal. Even my doctor said if it wasn't for that alkaline water, you would not have been healing as fast as you're healing now. So I thank you all. I thank Angelique Global, Coach, everyone here, Dr. B, Mr. Avery, everyone. And I enjoy this. And like you said, there's no excuse. If I can show up, everyone should show up. Because I have an excuse if I wanted to use it, but there is no excuse. I make none. I'm here. So share the water. Let people know that we got the best filtration system on the planet that you can take anywhere in the world and have better water than everybody else drinks. That Coach, I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So you heard it from somebody. He said it. He had every reason in the world not to show up, but he was the third person here. And with that, I want to close out by turning it over to Mr. Michael Avery. Michael, take us out of here, sir.
Michael, before you do, I want to throw one thing in. You know, I was traveling out here and he talked about the water. I don't know. I always take my Anjali water bottle with me because, you know, in the airport, you just empty it out. It's an empty bottle with filtration system. You fill it up with their cold water and then you've got something fresh. Let me tell you what, I was so grateful that I had this when we didn't have the stock and stuff that we need or have access to drinks and things. Because if you get out of line, then it just gets crazy. So this is a game changer, folks. And people started asking me about where do you get that? What's that? Why you got? I said, oh, you know, started having conversations about the water filtration system and that I didn't have to worry about any of the water I was drinking, no matter where I was. And it's just about having conversations. So back to you.
Well, thank you, Kim. Thank you for your time that you spent living your life and being focused in that life with sharing with people and sharing with us. It's always a pleasure because I know how much energy you put into it. So thank you very much for that. And the only thing I would like to correct from your presentation was Virgil and I don't get up at 5:30. We get up at 4:30 because I can't speak for Virgil, but in my case, I know that I got to come on at 5:30 on sort of East Coast time, but I'm on West Coast time. And he's up at 8:30, you're up at 8:30, all that stuff. Got to get ready. Got to get ready for whatever we're doing. And a champion's call in the morning is such a great discipline that getting up that early is only the beginning to get ready to be on stage, so to speak, at 5:30. The point about that is that everything takes preparation, just like all the preparation you put into what you did today. And of course, as you also said, that you're the benefactor. I'm the benefactor. Whenever I present something, it always triggers something in me that I didn't even know what I was thinking until I was speaking, and it pops out of my mouth. So being engaged in the community and listening to Virgil or listening to Coach or listening to you or listening to Elaine or listening to Spencer or Mark, whoever, Shannon, all the people, Laverne, and for sure Mary and Cheryl, all of you guys. It's that cohesive group that we have. And Coach is always talking about big numbers. I like him talking about big numbers because I know where we're at. I can look down at the bottom of the screen and see we don't have big numbers today. So the question is, what do I have to do to make a difference? And the more difference I make, the better it is for everybody. And the more difference each of you make, the better it is for all of us. Because we are a family, a community, a team, whatever you want to call it, an alliance of human beings that have a common dedication. And so all of us that come today, each of us gains something. So it's not like duty, it's like an opportunity. And I know that when I was with Virgil for 4 days, and we got up at 4:30 every morning, and the last day we didn't go to bed till 11:30 at night, I was so doggone tired by the time I got back home with a few incidents in between there that I was drained. I'm still recovering from it. But you know why we got up that early and did that much? And it's what Pastor Chris has always talked about, is when your why makes you cry. And I think that whole why isn't something that is in our head, it's something that's in our heart. It's in our spirit. And when we're that connected to our spirit and we're doing our life, that's what Virgil and I were doing. We're doing our life. We're doing what we think needs to happen. And we're making contributions in that area. So, Coach, thank you for the big hands. Thank you for the opportunity. And all you guys, thank you for the presence that you bring to this party. Amen.
Domine sum dignus, ectum spiritu all. Amen. Until they kick me out for
Amen.
drinking all their wine. Pray for me, Elaine. Pray for me. God bless you. Thank you. And
Namaste.
we look forward to a terrific week. Let's get it done. Get your orders in by the 7th, and let's rock and roll. If you need any help, 520-979-7812. God bless you. And Miss Kim, unbelievable.
Thank you so much, Coach, for this opportunity. Folks, don't worry about just your own orders getting in before the 7th. Make sure you reach out to every single person, whether they're active or not, and let them know about this opportunity, because this may be something that they've been waiting for. So here's your opportunity to have a conversation, to reshare with people who love the products and for whatever reason didn't know about the shift and change with Anjali, and they need to know about it. So reach out to everybody that you've talked to in the past. God bless you guys and have a magnificent day. Bye-bye. I gotta go.
Great.